For nearly half a century, humanity has had two silent explorers moving steadily outward long after anyone expected them to fall quiet. They were built for a brief encounter with the outer planets, yet they continue to operate in a region no human-made object was ever intended to survive for so long. Far beyond Jupiter, Saturn, and the last faint warmth of the Sun's influence, they are still sending data back from a place that feels less like a destination and more like a threshold between known physics and something still being mapped. These spacecraft are the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Recent scientific discussions and public attention have returned to them not because of a single dramatic discovery, but because of a slow accumulation of subtle, persistent anomalies in their data. And that raises a deeper question that has followed them since launch. What does the boundary of our solar system actually look like when it is treated not as a line, but as a living region of interaction? The story begins with one of the most transformative ideas in space exploration: gravity assist. In the 1960s and 70s, trajectory specialists, including Michael Minovich, helped develop the mathematical foundation showing that a spacecraft could gain speed by passing near a planet, effectively borrowing a tiny fraction of its orbital energy. When rare planetary alignments occur, this becomes a powerful tool, allowing a single spacecraft to visit multiple worlds. NASA recognized the opportunity created by a once-in-176-year alignment of the outer planets. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were launched in 1977 with missions that were originally modest in duration. They were not designed for interstellar space, nor for decades of operation. They were designed to complete a planetary tour and then fall silent. Instead, they became something entirely different. Voyager 1 revealed Jupiter as a violent system of storms larger than Earth and intense radiation belts that reshaped expectations of giant planets. It also captured volcanic activity on Io, showing that tidal forces could transform moons into geologically active worlds. Voyager 2 extended the story further, becoming the only spacecraft to visit Uranus and Neptune, revealing tilted magnetic fields, unusual atmospheric circulation, and ring systems far more complex than expected. These discoveries alone would have secured their legacy. But their journey did not end there. After the planetary phase, both spacecraft continued outward toward the edge of the heliosphere, the vast region dominated by the solar wind emitted by the Sun. This region was long imagined as a kind of protective bubble surrounding the solar system, separating solar influence from interstellar space. The outer boundary of this region, the heliopause, was expected to behave like a clean transition line. Inside dominated by solar particles, outside by interstellar particles. A simple division between two environments. Reality proved far more complex. When Voyager 1 crossed this boundary in 2012 and Voyager 2 followed in 2018, the data did not show a sharp transition. Instead, particle densities shifted gradually, and magnetic field directions behaved in ways that did not fully match predictions. Rather than a clean edge, the spacecraft revealed a broad, turbulent interaction zone where solar and interstellar influences overlap. This forced a major conceptual shift. The heliosphere is now understood not as a rigid shell, but as a dynamic structure constantly reshaped by solar activity on one side and galactic magnetic forces on the other. Some models describe ripples, folds, and elongated distortions forming within it. Others suggest a constantly evolving interface more fluid than fixed. What was once drawn as a boundary now appears to behave more like a process. Then came another layer of complexity. As Voyager data accumulated, researchers studying particle behavior beyond the heliopause noticed unexpected fluctuations. Cosmic ray intensity increased as predicted outside the heliosphere, but other signals did not behave cleanly. Plasma oscillations were detected in regions assumed to be extremely sparse, suggesting structured wave-like behavior in the interstellar medium. Not sound in any human sense, but organized plasma activity that appears far from random. In a region once thought to be nearly empty, the data suggests persistent dynamical structure. Some scientists interpret this as expected plasma physics under low-density conditions. Others argue that the organization of these signals hints at incomplete models of the local interstellar environment. The interpretation remains open, and that uncertainty is part of what makes the data so important. Voyager 1 has also experienced periods of unusual telemetry behavior, where data packets appeared internally inconsistent while the spacecraft itself continued functioning normally. Engineers traced some issues to aging onboard systems and memory components operating far beyond their design limits. In one case, an inactive system was found to be affecting data formatting in unexpected ways. These events highlight how fragile long-duration deep space communication becomes over decades. Consider what this actually means. A signal traveling at the speed of light takes more than 22 hours to reach Earth from Voyager 1. Every command sent today arrives tomorrow. Every correction is delayed before it can even take effect. Communication with the farthest human object has become stretched across time itself, turning control into something closer to dialogue with the past. Despite this, both spacecraft continue operating. Their power comes from slowly decaying radioactive sources that diminish each year. Engineers have been forced to shut down heaters, instruments, and non-essential systems to preserve minimal functionality. Yet even under these constraints, the spacecraft still transmit data, faint, consistent signals from the edge of the solar system. And that persistence has turned them into something more than machines. They have become reference points for understanding the structure of our cosmic neighborhood. What they suggest is that the boundary of the solar system is not a clean edge. It is a gradient, a transition region where solar and interstellar influences continuously interweave. Instead of an endpoint, the solar system appears to fade into the galaxy. This realization has important implications. It means our maps are not wrong, but incomplete in structure. The edge of the solar system is not a wall, but a region shaped by continuous interaction. A process rather than a boundary. Future missions in heliophysics aim to refine this picture further, mapping the heliosphere in 3 dimensions and tracking how it changes with solar activity and galactic conditions. These efforts may determine whether the Voyager observations reflect local variability or a deeper structural truth about how stellar systems interact with interstellar space. Even without final answers, the Voyagers have already transformed understanding. They revealed active volcanism on distant moons, contributed to the discovery of possible subsurface oceans on worlds like Europa and Enceladus, and delivered the iconic image of Earth as a pale blue dot suspended in sunlight. Now, in their final phase, they are mapping interstellar space itself. There is a quiet irony in this. Machines built with 1970s technology, with limited memory and minimal processing power, continue to contribute to modern astrophysics at the edge of the solar system. Their longevity was never part of the plan, yet it has become one of their most important scientific contributions. Each new data stream adds another fragment to the structure of an unknown region. Each anomaly invites reconsideration of assumptions about plasma physics, magnetic fields, and the shape of the heliosphere. The deeper implication is subtle but profound. The edge of the solar system is not an end, but an evolving interface between environments. Beyond it lies not emptiness, but a structured interstellar medium shaped by forces humanity is still learning to interpret. In that sense, the Voyagers have not reached the end of anything. They have entered the beginning of a different kind of space, one still being defined by data, theory, and gradual discovery. And as long as their faint signals continue to arrive, delayed but persistent, they carry a simple message from the farthest human-made objects ever built. The story of space does not end at the edge of the solar system.